I was trying to think back to when my grandpa died. I think I was in the seventh grade. And because I was thinking, my gosh, if I was still in grade school, and that's got to be the thing. If I was still in grade school, the teacher would have told the class that my grandpa died. But being in junior high school is what we called it. It's now called middle school. Um, they didn't make a big deal about it, so we just missed school, and then that was it. They didn't tell the class like they did in grade school. So I was trying to think, it's like, well, what was different? And, because if somebody's parent passed away or a grandpa passed away, usually the teacher would tell the class, and then, so that I think that it was to try to kind of create an understanding for the student that the teacher cared, and maybe for related to students who to show some caring and consoling to the person who lost a loved one. And yeah, but I just remember when my grandpa died, when I was in middle school, what we did was we missed out on school that day. We stayed home, and then we went to the funeral. I'm thinking the funeral might have been about 11 o'clock. Usually that's what time it was, between 10 and 11 o'clock, something like that, and then they had lunch. And so everybody was really, really upset. In the future, there was times where people weren't upset. They were upset about the baby that died, but then the elderly person who passed away, they weren't upset. But for some reason, my grandpa, I think it's because my mom and her sisters were younger, so they were in their early 20s in their childbearing years. So it had kind of a closer to their childhood, So my mom wasn't that old when her dad passed away. She was in her mid-20s, and I think that's the type of effect that it had on them, was because they were closer to their childhood, instead of the growing older part and having a learning and understanding that everybody dies. It's not an easy subject to talk about. Death is not an easy thing for people to talk about because it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. But I think that if the more we talk about it, then the more of an understanding we have that it's normal.